Hello children, how are you all? Yes, you are nice? Yes. So we have completed the last lesson, so very interesting one, that is the beautiful word. So many things what we didn't observe regularly that we have seen, right? Yes, now enjoy that one. So now another inventory one. Yes, all of you know aeroplanes, right? Yes. So have you traveled any time in the flight? No, didn't travel. Oh, some of you went. How did you enjoy? So what can we see from an aeroplane's window? So in the aeroplane if you are going, from the window what can we see? First of all, everything like Lilliput, very small. Lilliput you know? Lilliput means very small they are. Like that everything will be small, right? So here, there was a time when people could never dream of flying in the air like a bird. So yes, flights means this is almost 100, 120 years, 150 years from that time we have. But before that do we have? No, right? So, but it is really reality today. You can fly to any part of the world in no time. So, any part of the world. So nowadays if you see, that is we can fly, that is within a short time, easily we can go. More than that, any fastest traveling we have means not at all. So like that we are going very fast journey. Right, the aeroplane has become the easiest mode of transport. So now the easy aeroplanes also, yes of course, it became the easiest mode of transport. So mode of transport all of you know, right? That is the road, water and air transport. So all these transports we have nowadays. So now air means nothing but aeroplane, right? So read the story. So why I am telling all these things about the aeroplanes? What is the reason? Yes. So today we are going to learn who invented this aeroplane. So when it was started, who are the inventors? That we can see in this lesson. What is that lesson name? Invention of an aeroplane. Invention of an aeroplane. So who invented this? When did they invent this one? How did they invent and what happened? What is the reason behind it? So like that we can understand from this lesson. We can learn from this lesson. So what is this? Read the story of aeroplane and know how Wright brothers invented the first aeroplane. So who invented the aeroplane? Yes, Wright brothers. Wright brothers means, yes, there are two members, brothers. They have invented. Who are those? Let's see. So Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright. Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright. So two members are here. Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright created history when they invented the first aeroplane. Yes, first aeroplane when they invented. Yes, it's a creation because up to that we fly means only we can say birds can fly. But more than that anyone can fly means never at all. But we also can go in the air. Yes, that was happened because of these two brothers only. So see their pictures, that is those two brothers only. Who are those? Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright. Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright. So they created the story by inventing the first aeroplane. They designed their first aircraft, which was a small glider. They flew as a kite. So they designed their first aircraft. So first aircraft they invented. That was very small glider. Glider means without engine it works. So but very small one they created. And that flew as a kite. Yes, our kite is going now. So like that it is also they created first. And they slightly arched the tips of the glider wings to control its balance and movement. They slightly arched. Arched means that is the arches. You have idea about that, no? So that, yes, see that one. So they slightly arched the tips of the glider wings. So generally birds are flying means with the help of wings. Without wings can they fly? No. The same way for the glider or aeroplane, wings are mandatory. Without that they cannot fly. So that's why the glider wings to control its balance and movement. So to control the balance and movement, they have created, they kept in that aircraft without engine, that is a glider, a light aircraft designed to fly without using an engine. So without any engine, can use it. So small one first they created, like the kite, it can fly. First they started that one, and to get better idea, the Wright brothers spent hours observing birds in the sky. So yes, it is flying but not much, but birds are going very fast and high. So what is this? What is the reason? How they are flying? Like that we can create, like that both of them started to observe these birds, how they are flying very keenly. Very keenly means very closely. Each and every point they started to observe in the while the birds were flying. They noticed how birds soar up in wind, and the curved face of their wings helps them move up. So they noticed how the birds soar up. So soar up means they go very high. So rise very high. So how they are going very high to place, and the curved surface of their wings help them to move. So in the curved places, or else to fly, to increase the fast and decrease the fast, slow to make it slow. How the wings are helping to them. Everything they observe very properly, very keenly we call it. That means each and every point without missing it. Like that they observe. And birds changed the shape and flapped their wings to turn and control their speed. So birds changed the shape. So birds also changed their shape. So how shape and flapped their wings to turn and control their speed. Yes, if you observe, birds while they are going on, sometimes they never move their wings. Sometimes very fast they move their wings. What is the reason? Yes. So they changed their shape and flapped their wings to turn and control their speed. So fast if they are going means they never move it. So suppose first to increase the speed and to control the speed also, they move their wings. So Wright brothers thought that they could use this method and change the shape of the wings of the glider to fly it successfully. So Wright brothers, they thought, so both brothers, by observing that, they thought that they could use this method. Yes, they also can use the same kind of method. That means how birds are going on, the same kind of method, and change the shape of the wings also. Yes, for the aircraft we kept the wings, so that we can change it and of the glider to fly it successfully. So properly it should successfully should fly it means yes, how the birds are going on the same way we should change the shape of the wings also for our aircraft. That they decided and they started. So over the next 3 years, the Wright brothers designed many gliders that were flown unmanned or without pilots. So for the next 3 years, almost over the 3 years, the Wright brothers designed many gliders. So many aircrafts they prepared that were flown unmanned or without pilots. So first they created without a man in that and without a pilot in that, like that they created the aircrafts. So they realized that a good control of the flying aircraft was the most difficult problem. So later they realized, so they are doing so many things. So realized means, yes, if where mistake is going on, how to rectify that. Like that they thought, they discussed many times, they observed that, and later they decided that the good control of the flying aircraft was the most difficult problem. So many gliders they prepared, but still some kind of problem is there. At last they find the problem. They found the problem. What is the problem they found? That is control of the flying aircraft. So how to control it? So birds means according to that they are controlling, but machines, how can they control? We only should control that, right? So that's why how to control that they thought it. But they were not afraid of failure. So many they prepared, but they couldn't succeed in that. They were not sending them to fly much. So first they were disappointed. So but they never afraid of failure. They never get the fear of failure. Because failures are the stepping stones of the success. When it becomes stepping stones, yes, if we learn something from the failure, yes, we can get the success from that failure. But failures always, if we get it again, the same repeats means can we get the success? No. So once we figure the failure, we should learn from that. Why? Where is the mistake happened? What happened? That we should learn. Yes. So they didn't afraid of failure. After a successful glider test, they built and tested a big full-sized glider at Kitty Hawk in North Carolina. So first they but they were not, yes, after a successful glider test. So again, they did the glider test and they succeeded in that, and they built and they tested a big full-sized glider at Kitty Hawk. So in the North Carolina, one place, Kitty Hawk, they went there and they created some big-sized one, and there they started to test it, how it is flying. The place was suitable because of its wind, sandy soil, hills and remote location. So why did they choose that Kitty Hawk especially? Because that is suitable for flying, for the wind direction. Yes, now they are doing it means wind direction also mandatory to them. Wind direction, sandy soil there. So that's why easily they can move it, and hill area, it never, suppose if it fell also, nothing will happen to anyone, and open area means remote controlling also very easy. So that's why they went to that place, so for the remote location. And in 1900, so remember that in 1900 they were successful in flying a big 50-pound glider with a 17-foot wingspan at Kitty Hawk again. So Kitty Hawk again, both as unmanned and pilot fights. So in 1900, so in the year 1900, they were successful in flying a big 50-pound glider. Up to that, very small gliders they created. So now the first time little bit somewhat weight one, 50-pound glider with 17-foot wingspan. So wingspan is 17 feet. So that much at Kitty Hawk again only, and both as unmanned and piloted fights. So without any man, that is a piloted fights that they created. In fact, it was the first glider having a pilot. So in this, not a particular person but a pilot to sit, like that they arranged. So this is the first flight with a pilot. They decided to build a bigger and better glider. So later they decided to build a bigger and better glider also. So one more big one, better one. Then only we can get more and more benefits. But only just some height it is going on, and with a little bit of place means what is the use flying also? No use. So some people can go like that. They started to think more, and the thrill and excitement could not be expressed in words. So at that time, first they were succeeded. Yes, it is flying some way, and next it can increase more and more also. So further, their excitement we cannot express. No one can express in the words. They also cannot express in the words. Like that much of feeling very happy. They were very much excited in that. In 1901. The Wright brothers flew the biggest glider ever flown. So in 1901, so they started biggest glider they created, and it weighed 100 pounds, but many problems occurred. So first time they introduced that one, biggest one, it's almost 100 pounds. 100 pounds, but many problems created. So see that 50 pounds when they created, it flew away and it didn't create any kind of problem. That's why next they started with advanced one. But this 100 pounds weight and some more technical things also they added. So for that it created so many problems. So then they started to research on that. The wings could not lift high enough, and sometimes the aeroplane spinned out of control. So the weight increased. So the feet is almost wings feet, same thing is there. So for that they could not control that. Sometimes spinned, roll over. So spinned in the control also. They cannot control that one, and with the remote they cannot completely operate it. So like there's some kind of problems happen in the flying of this second one aircraft, biggest one. So that they were extremely disappointed, but soon they overcame it. So first they were completely disappointed. Yes, of course, we also suppose if we create something, if it is not work means first we will be very disappointed, right? But later, yes, there's a mistake. If we find it and if we try it again, 100% we will succeed, right? The same way here also. They succeed, they try to succeed in that, and first they were disappointed, but soon they overcame it means they rectified the problem, and again they started to work on that. The love for adventure helped them move on. So the love for adventure, yes, if we are very much interested to creation of something always, yes, that's we also very good encouragement, and we get more and more interest to create new things, right? Already something they have done, that is all if you are doing means we feel bored. But a new thing if you are creating means, yes, you get very much interest. So now you are doing, I think so, at home with the paper, you are creating different things, either paper boards or else different things you are creating now. Either guns you can prepare, right? So different. So if you are in which you are interested, that if you prepare, you will get more interest. And suppose one time if you get a problem, if you don't get it properly, again you try it, right? So the same way here, they want to invent something. That's why any problems happen. Again, they are practicing, they are trying, and they got the success at last. So later they decide to build a new and improved glider with a tail to make it stable and a wingspan of 32 feet. Yes. First they increased the weight, but its wingspan they didn't increase, and some other problems also raised. So they didn't mind about that first. So later they observed that, and then they started, yes, they decided to build a new one, again another new aircraft should find it, and improved glider with a tail. So then now we should take it with a tail also. Yes, birds they have backside also these wings, and little bit long one we have. So like that here we should continue. To make it stable. So because of this tail, so it will be stable, fixed. So proper way it goes. Like that they thought it, and the wingspan also 32 feet. First they have given only 9 foot. Now it's a 32 feet. In 1902, so 1900, 1901, another one, and 1902 new one. So the Wright brothers flew the glider many times. So new one they started, and in the 1902 they flew the new one also. This glider many times. So the mobile tail of the glider helped to balance the craft. So the mobile tail of the aircraft. So tail is that mobile they kept it. So that helped the glider helped to balance the craft. So whenever they arranged that mobile tail, that helped the aircraft to move very easily. So to balance it and control it also, like that it helped. So they were happy to be successful. So yes, the first one it was very succeeded. They were very happy for that. Next they decided to build a motor power aircraft. Till now they didn't use any engines, only gliders. So now they decided, yes, it is flying means now we can go for motor power, that is with the engines we can start it. Like that they decided. So they designed a motor and a new aircraft. So for the aircraft already is there. So for that only to fix it means, yes, we can try another new one also with some other adventure, with the new features, and for that to keep that motor also some particular place. So like that they thought, and a new one again they started to create. And the aircraft weighed 700 pounds and was called the Flyer. So the first one it is. 700 pounds it was weighed, and it was called the Flyer. And the brothers built a downhill track to launch the Flyer. So at the same time, the brothers built a downhill track. Downhill track means nowadays, if you observe, aeroplane should go means yes, the way we have either to landing also long road we have, right? So while going on, suddenly it flew up and again it comes back. So like that, they built that road also, launch track also for launching the Flyer. So this helped the aircraft to gain a good air speed to fly. So first it's going like this, and it will more Flyer means yes, it gets a proper speed. So that's why they started. They built a track also there. And after 2 attempts to fly the mission, one of which was almost a small crash, Orville Wright took the Flyer for a 12-second flight on 17th December 1903. So see that here anyone invents something means with others they try it, but here these brothers, Wright brothers, they only wanted to do that one. So in 1903, 17th December, the first flight flew with the pilot, with a man. So that is after 2 attempts to fly the machine. So 2 attempts they did it. After that, one of which was almost a small crash. So that means some problem that is raised and they landed. So Orville Wright took the Flyer for a 12 seconds. So first time they flew 12 seconds. So we feel it nowadays already we have means 12 seconds, it's very limited. But first time you try it, you can you jump jump off yourself for 12 seconds or 10 seconds in the air? Never at all. So, or else at least what we prepare paper rockets. That rockets at least can be in the air 5 to 10 seconds. No, those also immediately they fell down, right? Kites they are going up, but the remaining paper rockets like that, are they going on? Not at all. So even kites also, when they start the speed with the wind blowing, then only with the help of the thread they can fly. Otherwise can they? Not at all. So we should give the speeding and controlling in our hands. Like that here also. First Orville Wright. So both brothers are there. So that is Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright. So first Orville Wright took this one and flyer and 12 seconds he was in the air. So he traveled, and on 17th December 1903. It was the first successful powered flight in history. So first flight in history with engine means nothing but powered flight, nothing but this one only, this Flyer. In 1904, so after, in the next year only, almost it is in December, and in the next January, February like that. So the flight lasted more than 5 minutes. So first 12 seconds and later they started much time like that. Yes, it was almost 5 minutes. The Flyer was flown by Wilbur Wright. So next another brother, Wilbur Wright. This time he went on with whatever the problems faced when this Orville Wright went on. The same problems they tried to rectify it, and after that again this Wilbur Wright, he flew in that aircraft that he got he flew almost 5 minutes in that aircraft. So that name is a Flyer. So in the Flyer. So almost 5 minutes he traveled, right? So like that first they started, and later they added different kinds of features to that, and at last nowadays we have very different kinds of aeroplanes to fly away and to go to to travel different countries within a few hours, right? So this is our lesson, the invention of an aircraft. So how it is started and how they weren't succeeded in the first, and later how they succeeded by doing the almost 3 to 4 years of work, how they were succeeded. That we can learn from them. If we want to get the success means we should work on that continuously, should not disappoint any time. Okay.